Good morning, everyone. My name is Ines. Before we start, I would like to know if everyone can hear me properly. If you have any troubles, just type your answer as no in the box so I can try to fix that. Otherwise, I'll get started right away. Everyone seems to be okay. Well, it is very nice to meet you. Thank you for signing up. I'm going to talk about Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is my hometown, so I can only speak highly of it. I'll try my best to be a little bit subjective anyway. Buenos Aires is the capital city of Argentina. It is very European, as you can see in the welcoming page, and it's a little bit large. It's only 3 million people in Buenos Aires, and 13 million people live in the greater Buenos Aires. So that means that many people commute every day to the city to work. Buenos Aires, just so you know, has the same latitude as Sydney, so therefore the climate is quite similar to Sydney. We have the same temperature and the same weather, so it's winter, summer. So that's a little bit easy for you to remember. And then just give me 1 second. I'm trying to move. Sorry for that. Buenos Aires is located in the eastern side of Argentina, and it can easily be accessed from Sydney to Buenos Aires via Auckland with Air New Zealand Sunday, Wednesdays, Tuesdays and Fridays, and with LATAM every day from Sydney via Auckland and Santiago, so it takes a little bit longer to get there, and Qantas as well via Santiago only. It is important for you to remember that Australian passport holders do require a reciprocity fee of $100 to be paid prior to departure from Australia. People will have to print their receipt and bring it with them and show at immigrations. Buenos Aires city, as you can see, expands. It's very large. You have at the southern area La Boca, which I'm going to talk to you right away. And moving forward, you have San Telmo, Microcentro, Retiro, Recoleta, which is here, is very popular, very touristy, home to cemetery, and Palermo, which is Palermo Soho and Palermo Hollywood as well. La Boca and Caminito is the southernmost area of Buenos Aires. It's very touristy, very popular for the color houses, and it's really, really nice to have a walk around. All of the tours will have a few minutes in La Boca for people to dance a little bit with the artists and have a couple of beers and then head back to the northern area of Buenos Aires. There's a few museums and art galleries in Caminito. People interested in art, it's a good place to stop. Following is San Telmo, is the oldest neighborhood in Buenos Aires. On Sundays is the home place for it's a home place for a market called La Feria de San Telmo. You will have artisans and artists showing their performances in the street, so no cars are welcome, and therefore when we suggest a city tour in San Telmo, we would do a walking part in here on Sundays. Following is Casa Rosada, which is the main government house in Buenos Aires. It is beautiful. There's a museum. It is very, very interesting. And so if people are interested in the history of the country, it would be worthwhile a visit.
Just 1 second. We're going to check some technical issues. 1 second, please.
sorry for that. My the slides were moving faster than I could talk. So back to Government House. There's a museum there which is worthwhile getting in. I would suggest people mention this ahead so we can assure the visit. Every city tour will have a stop in the main square, which is in front of the Government House. It has a lot of history. It has the cathedral, the Cabildo, and a few different old buildings that are worthwhile visiting, such as Manzana de las Luces. It's also a museum and gallery. So there's plenty to see, which might not be, might not be as popular as Casa Rosada, but nearby are really, really nice places to fit everyone's needs. In Puerto Madero is the most modern neighborhood. It's the Docklands, and it was built on very antique architecture that was holding, in the old times it was where the cattle was stored, and these buildings have been now refurbished and work as restaurants or universities or even lofts for people to live in. So the atmosphere in Palermo is really, really nice, especially during the weekends where the locals get to stay, and walk around the neighborhood. Again, many art galleries in Puerto Madero, modern art as well as traditional South American art as well. So it's not only a nice place to walk around, but also to explore a little bit more whenever you have a little bit more time. Moving north is Recoleta, which is the home to the famous cemetery where many important historical people from Argentina are buried. Evita would be the most popular, and she's, probably you've seen Evita as a musical done by Madonna. Her body is buried there, and it's underground, so people go and actually stand in front of the grave and give, leave roses and just pay a visit. There are night tours of the cemetery, day tours of the cemetery. People are very fanatic about it, so if you are into that type of thing, please let us know and we'll organize a tour for you. Plaza Serrano is in Palermo. Has been, in the last couple of years, Palermo became a very trendy neighborhood where local artists and designers have their own workshops and studios. But also Palermo is a very residential area full of restaurants and bars, and has a very, very lively atmosphere, and it has been called Palermo Soho because of the resemblance of the Soho in New York City. Even people from Soho in New York City feel like it has kind of that same atmosphere. So if you go there on a Saturday and Sunday, expect locals everywhere. So that is kind of nice to be not just a tourist, but merging in with the local people. So at a glance, this is a few things that you could do in Buenos Aires. We usually suggest no less than 3 nights in Buenos Aires because it takes a little bit to move from one side to the other. So with 3 nights, you will be able to explore just the basics. The more you stay, obviously, the more you will be able to get from this amazing city. Again, this is La Boca, very, very colorful. I wanted to talk to you about a day trip to San Antonio de Areco. San Antonio de Areco has been called as the cradle of the gaucho culture in Argentina. This is a very, very beautiful town located 2 hours away from Buenos Aires city, and it's a perfect place to combine an estancia day as well as a little bit of culture. There's a museum that it tells the history of the gauchos, and there's a silversmith that has been very popular for the past 30-40 years in Argentina, which is called Draghi, and they actually even have a museum and a workshop that you can attend. So if someone is interested in doing an estancia day, I would definitely suggest Areco so they can also do other stuff and not just the shows and music. There are many different estancias what we could include. A few will have shows with gauchos and horses. Some others would also add a folkloric show, so that means tango dancers, folk show, all of that in one same show. So it also depends on the budget your clients have, and the willing to travel, because it's 2 hours away. There are a few ones that are a little bit closer, but they will not have San Antonio de Areco as a highlight. It will be just an estancia day. Another alternative would be an estancia polo. So these estancias particularly have the opportunity to offer polo lessons to whoever wants to come in. We would suggest that person included in the polo lesson has a little bit of idea, but it's not necessarily required. It's always been, they will always have a beautiful asado to enjoy, as you can see. That's a la cruz. That's the way we make asados in Argentina. Another full day trip to Tigre Delta would be, quite completed with the experience of the city, because this is only 30 minutes away from the city, and they will get to board one of the traditional boats and explore the delta, which is formed by millions of different islands. There are restaurants in some islands, so we can include lunch as well. And Saturdays and Sundays also will be full of locals just spending the day. Another full day tour could be to Colonia del Sacramento in Uruguay. There's daily ferries from Buenos Aires to Colonia. It takes 1 hour. Colonia del Sacramento is very, very pretty. Again, lots of restaurants, art galleries. The streets, the cobblestone streets are amazingly beautiful, very romantic. For honeymooners would be a nice day. You can actually stay overnight as well. Nice 5-star restaurants and hotels everywhere. It is a small town, but it's really, really nice. They have really good wine in Uruguay, so it could be a perfect day for a day out. Lastly, there's millions of tango shows that we can offer in Buenos Aires. There are some shows that are very, very boutique type of thing. There's one called El Viejo Almacén, which I would say as a show is one of my favorite, because it's very cozy, small, but dinner is not great. So I would suggest dinner somewhere else and then continue to the show at El Viejo Almacén. Otherwise, many other places like Esquina Carlos Gardel or Tango La Ventana, Café de los Angelitos, they offer really, really good meals as well as show. So I guess it's depending on the budget and their preferences. This is just a beautiful shot of Flores Generica in Palermo. It works with solar panels, so it's different. Just wanted to mention a few hotels in Buenos Aires. Palermo is been known lately for the boutique hotels everywhere. Palermo Legado Mítico is one of our favorite ones. Every single room has a different topic, so you can get Evita or Gaucho or the writer, which is Borges. So it is very different. Hotel Nus is a boutique hotel in Palermo. It has a pool, so for summertime I would be inclined to use this hotel. Hotel Sur Recoleta has a really, really good location. We have really good rates for them. It's a 3+ in terms of price, but it would be more like a 4+ in terms of quality and location. Breakfast is also really good. Recoleta Grand has only 3 years, and it's been one of our preferred hotels. Our group tours stay here. Again, it has a pool in the rooftop, and it has a really, really good location to Avenida Santa Fe, which is the main avenue where shops are located. And near Buenos Aires, it's also in Recoleta. It's a boutique hotel. It only has 3 years old, and it's very, very nice and excellent quality of design as well as service. And lastly, the hotel in San Telmo, which we would recommend, is called Hotel Anselmo, and it's located in the main square of San Telmo, which is makes it really handy if you're going to stay in this area. Just bear in mind that at night San Telmo might be a little bit too quiet. So it's okay during the weekend, but during the week I would be more inclined to stay in Recoleta if, if possible. And lastly, I was going to invite everyone to reply to this answer, which is, where is the birth of the gaucho culture? And you can email your answer to lourdeszet@contourstravel.com.au to get into the draw for the family to Ecuador next year. So I really hope you liked my presentation about Buenos Aires and that you get clients to go, or even you go to visit. Just let us know what we can do for you, and yeah, we're here. I was wondering if you have any questions now for me. I would be happy to answer. I'm just waiting. In the meantime, I was just going to mention that I don't know if you all know us, but we do work with from Mexico to Ushuaia and Antarctica, Cuba, Caribbean, all of Central America, South America. So I'm pretty sure, you all know us, but just mentioning it. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate your time, and I hope this was helpful. See you next time. Bye.